Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video. Now, today I have some really interesting news regarding an Xbox game that everybody is anticipating. Now, before I get into that, I was just on X this morning and I was just kind of just putting up my posts. I was talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro and how Monster Hunter Wilds is running better on that console.
But the fundamentals of the image are much stronger on Pro. When we actually move through the game world though, the differences are more stark. Here the PS5 really struggles to resolve anything approaching a clean image, with constant shifting stair-stepping on geometry and flickering on foliage. The Pro is far more pristine in comparison, resolving a smooth, if soft, image. But it does look a lot better than PS5, which I think basically satisfies the Pro promise. Wilds definitely feels best at 60 FPS, so having a visually serviceable framerate mode is a big bonus. The Pro also does a better job of hitting a stable 60 FPS than the base console. It's not a perfect 60, but dips are infrequent and not very impactful to gameplay. On PS5, the dips are harder and have greater frequency. If we unlock the framerate at 120Hz output, we can get a somewhat higher performance level, hovering between 60 and 80 FPS typically. If you have VRR toggled on, this may be worth exploring, though I'd probably still prefer to cap at 60. Unfortunately, in framerate mode, we still get the same RE engine SSR on Bodies of Water, which looks artifact-ridden and prone to obvious occlusion issues. But the PS5 Pro's resolution mode improves things quite a bit with its RT reflections. These RT reflections completely solve that occlusion problem, without ugly holes in the reflections when impeded by an overhanging tree or character's sword. Even when the reflected detail is completely off screen, the RT reflections are unaffected. If I pan the camera back and forth here, you can see just how big a difference this makes. The SSR doesn't extend all the way into the foreground and is conspicuously occluded by the player character's weapon, which looks off-putting relative to the RT reflections. Even when the reflected detail is in screen space, I think the RT reflections generally do a better job. The SSR looks low res and muddy, and struggles to convey convincing looking reflections much of the time. On Pro, you generally get a decent reflection of the scene and sky.
Now, I'm just going to summarize it real quickly here because I really want to get into this Xbox story. So, Monster Hunter Wilds is running good on the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's running at a higher resolution. Uncapped, it's running up to 80 FPS. It has better settings. It has ray tracing. It's the definitive version if you want to play Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, personally, I don't really play these games. I might pick it up just to try it out, but it is getting good reviews. So if you want to play it where it plays the best, get it on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Also, yesterday, a report came out that Spider-Man 3 is in active development over at Insomniac Games. Now, Peter Parker will play a huge role in the game, and this was confirmed by the voice actor. So the way that Spider-Man 2 ended, many of us thought that Peter Parker would not be a part of the game. Now, apparently he will be a part of the game, so I think it's going to be the same how Spider-Man 2 was, that you're going to have access to both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. So that's pretty exciting that it is under development. Now, I have to be honest, Insomniac Games, they have a quick turnaround time. So I would not be surprised if we saw this game in late 2026 or early 2027. Now let's just get on to the story of the day, what you all really came here for, and that is the news of Fable being delayed for the Xbox console. Now, it is being delayed until 2026. However, we did get some new information on the game and we got some new gameplay footage. So before I get into talking about the game, I'm just going to show you guys the gameplay footage. I'll come back and we'll get into the details of Fable. So as you guys can see, the game looks absolutely stunning. It looks incredible. I will say that they are delivering on that promise when they first showed us this game. You know, kicking the chicken looks extremely fun. The gameplay looks good, and the graphic fidelity, like I said, it is living up to the hype of the first actual trailer. So I'm really excited for this game. Now, it is disappointing that it is coming out in 2026. Now, I think there's a couple of reasons why this is happening. I think the confirmation of GTA coming out this year has caused a lot of studios to move their titles back. Let's just be honest. If this comes out the same time that Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, it's gonna get lost in the mix. I think it would still sell, but it wouldn't sell as much as if GTA 6 wasn't around. So this is not the only game that is going to be delayed. We're hearing that Battlefield is also going to be moved to next year because of GTA 6. So for that reason alone, I'm not really that mad. Now, some people think that it's coming out in 2026 is a bad thing, like it's gonna come out late 2026. I don't think this game is coming out late 2026. I think it's going to come out in the early part of 2026. I think it's just going to get out of that release window that Grand Theft Auto 6 is in. And I think it's the best thing for the game because in January, February of 2026, this game coming out, I think it'll sell a lot better than coming out in the fall season trying to compete with Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, I also think that this game is going to make an appearance on the PlayStation 5. Now, Xbox has repeatedly said that they're going to be bringing their titles to the PlayStation 5. We know that Forza Horizon 5 is the next game to make an appearance, and that's going to be in March. In fact, I think Indiana Jones comes out before that. So we have Indiana Jones coming out on the PlayStation, as well as Forza Horizon 5. And they're also going to be on the PlayStation 5 Pro version. So I'm going to be very interested to see the performance and the visual fidelity that these games are playing on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, once again, it coming out in 2026 gives it more time to polish the game in order to release it on multiple platforms. I think that Fable is probably going to be releasing day and date on the PlayStation. As well, the Switch 2 will be out at that time, and we know that Xbox is also bringing their games to the Switch 2. So this delay could also benefit them on polishing, making sure that this game plays well on all platforms. Now, they do say that they are delaying it because they want to improve the quality, and I think it's more or less to do with Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out in the fall, but also more time to polish the game is not a bad thing. Now, they did have an extensive interview, the director over at Xbox Games on Xbox Era, I think it was. Let me see the actual name of the podcast, the Xbox Podcast, I believe it was. So this is the official Xbox podcast, and the director of operations over there at Xbox Game Studios, Craig Duncan, he was speaking on Forza Horizon 5. He spoke on Fable. He also talked about multi-platform releases from Xbox Studios. So I'm going to let this play. I'll come back. I'll kind of sum it up. Also, if you guys want to watch this interview in its entirety, it will be linked in the description down below. So let's just watch this interview and I'll come back with my comments.
The show.
Yeah, and again, super excited for the game, the team, and just, you know, it's an amazing franchise, very storied franchise,
Yes.
Doom. And, you know, again, I don't want to speak for them, but I think it's going to be an amazing version of Doom, very different. But yeah, just
It feels that way to me too. And
super cool.
speaking of it being a storied franchise, they did such a good job, both Hugo and Marty, just kind of drawing back on like the previous Dooms, the role that you played, and then what that is compared to Dark Ages and
Yeah.
that kind of like, you know, big mecha, like gobsmacking chaos that you're going to
Yep.
be finding yourself in. So definitely that big summer blockbuster vibe for a May 15th release date. We did also previously announce that Doom was going to be coming to other platforms. And since then, we've had a bunch of other news about other games of ours coming to other platforms. Speaking of Bethesda, also Indiana Jones and the Great
Yep,
Circle.
of course.
And brief sidebar for Indiana Jones that took home 3 awards from
Yeah,
DICE,
huge.
actually.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I had the
that's
pleasure of congratulating Todd in person. Like the team was really excited. It was so great to see Machine Games on stage taking home 3 awards. So they won Adventure Game of the Year, Outstanding Achievement in Character, which of course went to Troy Baker for Indy himself, and Achievement in Story. All super well games that are going to be coming to other platforms. There's some of our like long-standing kind of flagship series, if you will. So I'm just curious what you think the Xbox community should take away from the fact that we've made that decision to bring more games to more platforms.
Yeah, I think it's good for gamers. I think it's good for our studios. You know, we our studios make amazing games, and we want to give those games the chance to reach the broadest audience possible. So even if I think back to when I had my studio head of Sea of Thieves hat on, having Sea of Thieves reach multiple platforms, being able to remove barriers so those players could play together, and then we announced Forza Horizon 5, which one of the biggest games on Xbox. I'm very biased, of course, because I know the team super well, but arguably I think probably one of the best racing games ever made.
I think a lot of people would agree with you.
I just think it's good for gamers. It's good to have our games reach more places.
It's some of that quality of life element for gamers, but I'm also happy for our developers that get a chance to share their art with more people.
Everyone that makes a game wants it to reach as many players as possible.
Exactly.
So I love we can give that opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, there's one other highly anticipated game that people would be very excited about that we haven't talked about yet, and that's Fable.
Yes.
So where are we at with Fable?
So I just want to start with really excited about progress, really excited where Playground are. We previously announced the date for Fable as 2025. We are actually going to give Fable more time, and it's going to ship in 2026 now. While I know that's not maybe the news people want to hear, what I want to assure people of is that it's definitely worth the wait. I have unequivocal confidence in the Playground team. If you think about their history and legacy for Forza Horizon, last two games critically acclaimed, 92 Metacritic, award-winning, beautiful, played great. And just what they're bringing to Fable as a franchise, just think of the visuals of what you expect of Playground games, plus, amazing gameplay, British humor, Playground's version of Albion, so inspired by what's gone before with the franchise, but, their take in quite frankly, the most beautifully realized version of Albion you've ever seen. So really excited about the plans and really excited about the future. And I want the community to understand that we do these things for the best of the games and the teams, and ultimately that results in the best games or the best game for the community.
And I think from your visit, you actually managed to bring over some footage for us to see some of those beautiful visuals as well.
Yeah, so I think we're going to show some of the footage. This isn't a trailer or anything. We felt as we were going to talk about the game, it was important to show some of the things.
Yeah, we get to see some of these scenes, like kind of both just walking through environments where inevitably there'll be some combat, some city walking scenes, just really seeing how the beautiful variety in environments that are in the game.
Yeah, and I've played some aspects of it that are in the city-based, and again, I'm trying to be very careful that I don't spoil anything. Ralph and the team won't forgive me if I spoil something, but I played some of the city elements, I played some of the quests, I played some of the combat, I played a boss battle, I've used magic. Like it felt amazing. And I had a great time. And again, I remember the originals. This scene, I've played that in gameplay. I'm not going to spoil the backstory of what's going on. But as you can see, genuinely beautiful. Plays
Even just
great,
seeing like the
great.
cinematics and then cutting to the actual like fight over here, it's gorgeous. You can barely tell the difference, which is such a seamless transition.
Yeah, it's very real. Everything you're seeing here is very playable. I've seen a bunch more than that. I'm very excited. So take my word for it. But hopefully, what the team can see here is enough to build excitement.
I love the little details. It's great to see how much emphasis is being put into all of that.
Yeah, and there's no bigger fans of Fable as a franchise as the Playground team that are making it. So I think it's a really fine balance between what are the game tenets that are true to Fable and what's a modern day reimagining of what is Playground Games' version of Fable.
Yeah, absolutely. The modern retelling of Fable. I'm very excited myself. I've been a massive Fable player since day one, so I'm excited for 2026.
Yeah.
So as you can see, more games are going to be making an appearance on the PlayStation 5. He is in fact excited that PlayStation gamers will get to experience Forza Horizon 5 which in my honest opinion is the best racing game ever created. So I do agree with him here that PlayStation fans are in for a treat, especially PlayStation 5 Pro owners. I'm really interested to see the performance that that console will deliver on Forza Horizon 5. Now, Fable, he spoke on the gameplay, saying that he had played it behind the scenes and that it's excellent and that the delay is to just polish the game more. Now, once again, I do believe this is to make way for Grand Theft Auto 6. I think a lot of games are going to get lost in the shuffle when Grand Theft Auto 6 releases. And with the game looking so good and with a lot of hype on the game, I also too would not release it around Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, I'm pretty sure the game was ready to go this fall because the pre-alpha footage that we were watching today, it looks phenomenal. The gameplay looks good. I didn't see any jankiness, any quirks. It looked extremely fun. And once again, kicking that chicken was hilarious. So the only thing I would say with Fable is that I hope that you are able to change the main character, because I know some people have an issue with the main character and some people don't. So allow people to play with the main character and also allow people to create their own character that they can take into the Fable world. I think if they do this, the game is just going to be a smash hit. Regardless of the main character or not, I still believe that Fable will be a smash hit. And once again, if they release this game on all platforms, day and date, I do believe that this Xbox game will break some gaming numbers. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think about all this. Let me know what you think about Monster Hunter Wilds running on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Is this a reason for you to upgrade? Let me know. Also, let me know what your thoughts are on Fable being delayed. Do you think it's because of Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out in the fall? And also, do you think this delay will benefit the game more and allow it to be on more platforms? I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comment section down below. And like I usually say, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.